Hello and welcome to Around the Towns. I'm your host, Dan Murphy, and this episode I talked to Jen Ziskin, one of the new owners of the Heritage of Sherborne, along with her husband Josh. I was there back in April to look at the restaurant before they made some renovations, and I also have footage of what the restaurant looks like now. They're beginning dinner service this month in July, and I hope everyone takes a look.
Hi, I'm Jen Ziskin, and my husband and I bought Heritage of Sherborne. We closed on the property March 5th, and we're really excited to finally be open. We own another restaurant in Brookline called Lamora, and that's been going great almost for 12 years. And so we're so excited, though, to be here in Sherborne. It's just an amazing community, and we have a multifaceted property and lots of things to bring to the community.
Well, I guess first things we should talk about is some of the renovations you've made to this establishment. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Absolutely. So we didn't need to do anything major structurally. We really just gave it a big facelift. We sanded down all the floors and darkened them, brightened up the walls. We did all the fixtures over. We actually put new French doors in, so from the main dining room out to the patio. So basically this room is going to be, they used it for functions, we're going to be using it for functions as well, and it seats 130 with a dance floor. Our intention when we're not doing functions is to really shrink it down, so it's more of an intimate dining space. The way we're doing that is more, we're putting some booths over here to the left, where you see these kind of inserts here. We're opening up the windows to a French door that's going to go out to the patio that we can have open in the nice weather and closed when it's not nice. And then that entire part of the room is going to be lounge furniture. So we have these really cool chairs that we're recovering, bringing in some new chairs. We have this really amazing coffee table. It's an antique coffee table. Some great fabrics, really, but trying to keep the scene neutral so we can bring in flowers and brides can still really paint the room as they will want it when they come in with all their linens and centerpieces as well, and any type of function. We are redoing all the fixtures in the place. Every fixture that you see, we have a whole new plan for that. All the fixtures. We have the furniture already. We're refinishing a lot of the furniture. A lot of the chairs are being reupholstered. And then we're bringing in some really cool furniture with really comfy seats and these beautiful nail heads as well for the new furniture. We are keeping the bottom of this bar and painting it like a dark chocolate brown, and then doing painting all the millwork and putting in some tile behind the bar just to really brighten it up. I see this place, I'd want to come here with my friends and have a bunch of craft cocktails, have some bar snacks, come here for ladies' night, come here for my anniversary, birthdays, that type of dinner. And we did the landscaping out front, we painted. Over at the wine store, we gave that a big facelift as well. And so the vision here is we're doing fine wines and provisions. We're bringing coffee into here. So bringing an espresso machine, two big brewers. So we're going to have coffee starting at 7 a.m. every day. Really excited about that. Amazing Facenda coffee. And also the prepared foods like we envision, sort of what we'll be doing here at the barista is having, food from everything from inside and also things that you can take to go. Dinners, get well dinners, new baby dinners, bereavement dinners with a bottle of wine. The wine is really my specialty. So all of the walls are covered in wine. Right now all the shelving is down and in the back room because we're sanding the floors. We're darkening the floors a little bit and painting everything. We didn't have to do much. This space was really charming. We're going to keep this case is going over here, sort of envision it this way. And then just this whole everything back here was this kind of shelving. It's hard to imagine what it was, but now we're going to do a tasting, kind of a barista bar, and also it has like a really, that white marble countertop is coming with some millwork that they're building with shelving of jams and pâtés, things like that will sell, coffee, gift items, hopefully those bags. And then there is a back room. They're doing the floors tomorrow, so they had to put everything in the back. But that room is also an extension, and we'll have more. Probably do my spirits and beer in the back, and then here just focus on the wine. But nothing major, nothing structural. Probably the most, the biggest renovation that we did was to the bar in the pub, where we raised the bar. It was a lower bar, and they had these small chairs that went up to it, and then the floor was the sunken floor for the bartender. So we kind of demoed the whole bar, and then put in, we found this really amazing restored barnwood from our cousin's place up in Amesbury, Northeast Architect, and used all the wood from there and just created like more of a barn look for the bar and brought it up high with a granite top.
And then also I think we should talk somewhat about some of the menu offerings here at the Heritage.
Okay, sounds great. So we have many different menus, many different offerings, really to meet kind of all the needs of all of our guests. Right now we have our Gastropub open. It's open 7 days and 7 nights. We do lunch Monday through Friday every day, and it's a beautiful lunch. We've added some new salads this week. And dinner every night we open at 5 o'clock. The bar stays open all day long and all night till about 11 o'clock at night, a little later on the weekends. And in there, so we have a pub menu in there. That menu is also available. We have another room called the Sorter Room, which is a little quieter, still kind of sort of renovated it in the same sort of way that we did the pub, same seats. So that menu is available there. And then we have the room we're sitting in right now has this Fireside Lounge, and in the Fireside Lounge we have a snack menu. You can also get a burger or a pizza. We have a high-top communal farm table a lot of people have been enjoying, and that's been open just about every night as well. Sometimes you can actually rent that out as well for private events, so we have had that a couple nights too. We will be opening the main dining room, which is right here, our restaurant, mid-July to the end of July. And that'll be more, a little bit more finer dining, and also a chef tasting menu will be offered in that room as well. In our coffee, wine, and provision store, we have takeaway items. We do the full lunch and dinner menu you can get for takeout. We also have prepared foods like ribs and smoked brisket and whole chickens, shrimp ceviche, these amazing mushrooms, marinated wood-grilled mushrooms that are really popular already. And so you can pick up your dinner, bring a dinner to someone, and also pick up a couple bottles of wine while you're there. And also a full array of coffee, chai latte, iced tea, everything. Anything, and pastries in the morning. So pretty much anything you need, you can come find it at Heritage.
That's great. And then you had mentioned somewhat you're doing events, and sort of what events are you hosting here on occasion?
Well, we started, the first night we were open, we had the Brew Fest, and that was a town-wide event organized by the Sherborne Business Association, and that was a beautiful event out back. They put up tents, had live music. One of the only days you can have live music in Sherborne outside. And then we're doing, we have weddings scheduled, showers. The first weekend we were open, we had a shower for 40 people the day after the Brew Fest. Then we had a bereavement luncheon following that. The next night we had a 50th birthday party. The weekend after we catered a bar mitzvah, we catered a birthday party. So we're doing lots of outside catering and in-house events. We have many different rooms, the main dining room, but also smaller rooms for catering too.
And I know the previous owners operated this with some would rent rooms for a night and things like that. And are you still providing that?
We are. We are providing the rooms. We do have 4 rooms available for rent. We actually, we didn't renovate the rooms, and this is the first time I've ever been an innkeeper. Running a restaurant is just, no problem. But we've already had guests. I think the last 3 weekends we've had guests staying, so since the weekend of the 12th. And that's been great. They've really enjoyed their stay. We're hoping to give them a little facelift at some point, but right now we do have 4 rooms available too.
That's excellent, and I'm sure they're in hot demand. You had mentioned the sorter room, so I guess as you're paying some homages to previous ownership in that way?
Yes. Yes, Dave and Rosemary Sorter. It was really Dave's vision, Dr. Sorter's vision of the Sherborn Inn. And they're just such lovely people, just amazing. And right away, we just felt like this warmth from them. And I think he was a real visionary. And I think it was, always it was never owner operated, having someone with experience running a restaurant. So I think they really, when he met Josh and I, he was really hopeful that, having the restaurant experience, that we would really be able to make, this property what he always envisioned. So we really wanted to pay tribute to him, and the sorter room, we did very little renovation. We just changed the fixtures and painted it and, took down some curtains. But we really felt like it deserved to be named after them. They're just such, he was a real wonderful person, and Rosemary's been in, at least 2 or 3 times a week to check up on us. She's such a sweet person.
That's wonderful. So what have been the reactions of some of your guests so far?
Everything's been great. I mean, this community is amazing, like so welcoming in all respects. I had a focus group back in the winter just to sort of see what everybody was looking for. And I think everybody just was so excited for us to open. They are loving the food so far, definitely making suggestions. Like I said, we added more salads to the lunch menu. And we hear what everybody wants. I think once the fine dining menu opens up, people are going to be really excited about that too. But the community as a whole has been amazing and so much fun to get to know.
And then I guess as if there's anything else you want to add, just mention again some of the important dates that you have coming up. I think you said mid-July you're openings?
So we're hoping to open the fine dining mid to end of July. And a couple other things I do want to mention is we have the patio open, which today, I don't know, there was a threat of thunderstorm, so I'm not sure if we'll open it up today. But what we've also done is set up lawn games, and the kids have been out there playing, volleyball and badminton, cornhole. I did get a croquet set this week, so we can do some fun croquet games out there as well. And we also have a wine dinner scheduled in July, an Argyle wine dinner. They make beautiful sparkling and still wines, red and white wines. They have a beautiful assortment. And we've scheduled many wine dinners. So we'll start those in our wine cellar downstairs and then move up to one of the front private dining rooms and hope that lots of people will join us. It'll be really great to have the producer here and introduce them to some new wines.
And then you're still selling wine out of the store there,
yep,
right?
Wine, beer, and spirits as well.
Okay, great. So, everyone come on down to the Heritage of Sherborne, and hope you'll have a wonderful time. Thank you so much.
We'll see you soon.
My thanks to Jen Ziskin and everyone at the Heritage. I had also visited Pocasset Farm, which has been airing for about the past month, about a photography competition that it's going on throughout the summer. Hopefully people have had a chance to take photographs, and right now they're on display at Pocasset. So let's take a look at that interview as well.
So I'm Nicole Lewis, and I am the distribution coordinator here at Pocasset Farm. I basically manage the farm stand and the CSA distribution.
And then you also sell vegetables to the public.
We have a farm stand that's open during the same time as our CSA distribution hours. So anybody from the public can come and shop and buy whatever vegetables they want. Some people like to get this small share and then supplement what they like more of in the farm stand. In addition to vegetables, we also sell meat and chicken and pork, eggs.
Could you talk briefly about the CSA?
So the CSA is a community-supported agriculture program, and what that means is a family or a person can buy a share for the season, and then every week they come in and they pick up their vegetables based on what's being harvested that week. So it's a great program. You usually get more bang for your buck by the time it's all said and done, and you get fresh vegetables and seasonal, and it's local, and it's a wonderful program. And we have a couple of different offerings. So we have a full share offering, which typically can feed a family of 4. And then we have a smaller share, which, if it feels like that's too much for somebody, then they can do a small share, or small share.
I'm Todd Dimmick, and I am part of a volunteer group here at Pocasset Farm. And this group has been involved for a couple of years now in a lot of different ventures, mostly around programs like workshops in the kitchen, taking tours of the farm, getting engagement. It's all about engagement with kids and families and things like that. And one of the ideas that we had was that of a photo competition. And I've put it together because I've organized competitions like this in other places. And we're now actively recruiting people of all ages and all abilities, and are very curious to see how many people will sign up.
Beyond just organizing this photo competition, what other roles do you play at the farm?
I've had the privilege to be associated with the farm for probably 5 years now, and I have actually been writing. I'm a food writer by trade, and so I have been doing recipes for Pocasset Farm for about that 5 years. So if you go to the Pocasset Farm blog, you'll find all sorts of veggie-intensive recipes, and some of them quite simple, some of them quite a little bit adventurous. All of them intended to be about fun, and making creative use of farm produce.
Do you have the web address of that blog?
It's pocassetfarm.blogspot.com, I think. But if you look up Pocasset Farm on Google, you'll go right to it.
Okay, so what are kind of the goals of the photo competition?
Well, the competition itself, there's a lot going on at this farm, and a lot of it is visual. And the hope that I have is that when you get somebody with a camera looking for different viewpoints, you will find that there are different perspectives from one person to the next. And what I've seen in other similar events is that somebody's eye will go out to ground level, looking at a seedling growing, and other people, when they see that on the wall, will look at it and say, "Wow, I never thought to look at a lettuce plant that way," or "I never thought to look at a chicken that way." You can have a kid having a lot of fun with taking a photograph down from the ground, looking up, and the chicken looks like it's 40 feet tall, and that's very entertaining. It's looking at a farm, or it's looking at any place through different perspective, and that's where all the value and all the fun comes from.
And this competition is open to all ages and everyone?
All ages. When it comes to deciding on winners, there actually will be both a youth contingent and an adult contingent, but nobody will know what the age is of the person they're voting for. The votes will take place by number. You'll be saying you like photo number 26 or photo number 18, and then at the end, I suspect that people will be surprised to find out that this photograph was taken by a kid or an adult, and that's part of the fun of it as well.
Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned a wall. So how are these photos going to be displayed?
Well, they are going to be on display in our new kitchen area in here, and the idea was to make the event as accessible as we could, and for that reason, they're not going to be framed. They're going to be mounted on foam core, and then put probably at eye level around the kitchen, so that people can look at them. There's no limit to the subject matter other than the fact that the photographs have to be taken on the farm.
And I think you implied that all the entrants will be anonymous.
Yes, that's actually really important. There won't be names on the front. You won't know who took what photograph, and so each photograph will be numbered, and people will be voting just by number.
So I guess with the competition aspect, are there any sort of prizes for the winner, or is it just mainly bragging rights? Or
there's going to be bragging rights. Entries. It's entirely possible, although we're fleshing this out as we speak. But it's entirely possible that there will be a prize of some sort of farm goods or a gift basket.
Right.
And one of the prizes, which is important in my mind, and I suspect in farm supporters, is the images might well be used in ways to support the farm. And things that come to mind are greeting cards, or maybe using them as prints, maybe even a calendar one day. And for photographers who are willing, it's entirely likely that some of these images might stay on display in the kitchen area. The kitchen area is brand spanking new, just opened last year, and it would really bring it to completion to have images that a number of the members took in and around the farm. The show itself is going to be taking place between June 20th, which is a Saturday, and the July 25th Saturday pickup date. So for roughly that month, the images will be on display. And we've been trying to figure out the most effective way to have the winner be decided, and it's going to be actually through public ballot. So when people come through, if visitors come into the farm, or if they come in to pick up vegetables because they're CSA members, they'll be able to come wander through, pick up a ballot, vote for their favorites, and then put it in the ballot box, which will be waiting there, and the winner will be decided at the end of that period.
Okay, so the winner will be announced in late July, and what's the deadline for submissions?
The deadline for submissions is mid-June. I've got the registration forms that are actually waiting for, so if anybody's curious, there are forms that they can pick up in the kitchen area of the Pocasset barn, and the registration deadline is a week before the show opens, so let's say if it's the 20th, that would make it around the 15th.
Okay, so people have a little bit of time to get these in.
Absolutely.
And I guess it's important to talk about what other things are going on at the farm as well. If you have any information.
Well, and I certainly would want to underscore that there's a very active, enthusiastic group of volunteers associated with the farm and the farm's educational programming. And one of those things is this photo show, but that's a brand new thing. And the kind of events that have been taking place over the past year are workshops, educational programs, a lot of things in this kitchen. Workshops related to baking and using fresh. Everything's focused around fresh farm produce. And one of the things I should probably do is have you chat briefly with Nicole, who's our volunteer coordinator here, and who has a better handle on a lot of the programs that we have.
Last season, the kitchen was finished, and which prompted us to start utilizing the kitchen and getting people here to use the space. And so this will be our second year.
Okay, and how many cooking programs do you generally put on?
Last season we had 4 per month, and each had like a theme, usually something that was in harvest or we were harvesting, and then something that's family friendly where we can get the kids involved, and then sometimes a specialty class. This year we are hoping to offer the same, and we're starting to ramp up a little bit for the cooking classes that will be here through the summer. So we've got a strawberry shortcake class, hopefully in the making, coming up in June, at the end of June, and looking forward something to do with herbs, so pesto making, maybe some cheese making, and something to do with specific vegetables like zucchini and tomatoes as the season progresses.
Yeah. And so how large are these cooking classes generally? How many people attend?
Sometimes it's, a few people. Sometimes we've had, we usually cap out, I think, around 10 or 15, depending on the class and depending on if it's child, parent, child kind of thing.
Okay, and are these programs open to all ages? They generally attract children, generally attract adults?
It's a mix. So some classes are family friendly, where we encourage the children to come with their parents. And some are offered in a later part of the evening time, so might be geared more towards grown-ups. But we try to get everybody involved and offer a little variety of so that all ages can participate in our programs.
And are these just free to attend, or?
No, they are usually a small fee, a nominal fee to participate, and that's to cover the cost of the
Of course.
ingredients or whatever we need. But they're typically a low cost. And they vary. It depends on the class and how long it is and what's being.
Do you have to be a CSA member to participate?
Not at all. They're open to the public. So anybody can take the classes, and it's been a mix. So we've had people here that have never been on the farm and just heard about the classes, and then there are CSA members that are been with us for many years that are taking classes. So everybody is welcome.
And then what kind of equipment do you have in the kitchen that's...
The typical stuff. We have like a great oven and stove and I don't know, just the usual stuff you need. The oven is a specialty oven. It's being more to the oven, but it cooks things really fast. But it's not a microwave.
It's a convection oven.
Oh, thank you.
That is so far beyond in capability. The convection ovens that I have at home.
It's pretty fast.
It probably cuts 30 or 40% off of a loaf of bread. So it's a lot of fun to work with.
Do you have a brief overview of some of the things that you actually do grow on the farm?
Oh, what don't we grow on the farm? That would be a better question. I mean, all vegetables. It's vegetables, and then like strawberries, any other fruits. We do a few melons, but strawberries and fruits, or strawberries and melons, and then the vegetable just runs the gamut. I mean, even vegetables you probably never heard of. So it's different every week. It's a surprise, and so yeah.
Yeah, you also raise livestock on the farm to a limited extent.
Yep, we do. The 4-H program, I believe, takes care of that. And when we outsource some of our other items locally, so our milk will come from another farm. Same with the honey. We have a bee guy who brings us honey, and same with maple syrup. And so we outsource mostly locally, and try to get things in. So the goal is that somebody can come in and shop here and not have to go to the grocery store too.
And how large is the farm property that people can look at?
Well, actually, I'm glad you asked that, because a lot of people think of the farm as the place where agriculture is taking place, just outside the door here from this barn. But that's only probably 5 or 6 acres. The farm itself is dozens of acres going back and joining into the woods behind there, and that's all fair game for the photo competition. So images might be of the farm, they might be of the farm animals, they might be of farmers or people visiting the farm. They might be the trails out in the back. So there's, while it's a limit, it's not very limiting.
Great. Okay. Well, thanks. Is there anything else you think I should add?
I would add that Pocasset Farm is a treasure in town. I've been associated with it for years, and I've seen the delight that people take from coming here. Nominally, it's about going to pick up your groceries, but that's where the similarity to a grocery store stops. Going to a grocery store is a chore, and when people come here, they smile. It's almost like they're opening a present. I get zucchini, wow! I get garlic scapes, and I get tomatoes, awesome. And so you have a sense of a party going on when people come in here to pick up their stuff, and you see the passion really that the farmers bring to everything they're doing, and it's inspiring. I mean, we're fortunate to have this in our community, and I'm really delighted that I've been able to be part of it.
My thanks to everyone at Pocasset Farm. That's this episode of Around the Towns. Once again, I'm Dan Murphy. Thanks so much for watching.